Welcome to In Out Delete, where we watch new movies and old movies and review them. We are live in the editing bay, and we are your hosts.
Gio,
Robert,
America.
And I'm Ricardo. Okay, the concept of the show is that in being the movie's badass, out being it sucks, and delete meaning it's
Trash.
fucking horrible.
Alright guys, let's get this shit going.
All of this for what? Because of a puppy?
Wasn't just a puppy.
After gunning down a member of the High Table, the shadowy International Assassins Guild legendary hitman John Wick finds himself stripped of the organization's protective services. Now stuck with a 14 million bounty on his head, Wick must fight his way through the streets of New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So that indeed happened in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So John Wick 3, guys. What do you guys think? America, we'll start with you.
Oh my god, you guys. I'm surprised, but I liked it.
So you're
it was,
in?
I don't know if I'm in. I'm like.
No.
halfway
I think she's in. I think you have to
Are you
qualify
in?
this as in.
I think I'm. You know what? I am gonna go with in because I like the story.
There
I
you
like
go.
the story of John Wick. Like, it has a good background. I just don't think it was done well.
All right.
Really?
Let's move on. Ricardo.
Enough with you, huh?
Oh, damn.
Actually, this movie, I guess, is not made for people like me. I think it had everything that John Wick fans would like. I think it had humor, and the choreography was so dope. So
For the third one. Oh,
Wait,
well,
the
yeah, I guess
fighting?
we're
no,
reviewing
it's
the
always
third
been
one.
good through all the John Wick movies, but this one was like the best. And I think if you like, let's say, like action films and fucking Mission Impossible and like all the crazy fucking expendable movies, whatever, all the explosion with no, like, not a big story but good action.
It's a
that's
popcorn
fucking
movie. It's a
yeah.
movie that you can just sit there, enjoy, eat your popcorn.
You got everything. And you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to my brother that always says a movie has one job, and the job is to entertain, right? And while watching this movie, I laughed a lot, and like I was just in it all the time, and it never stopped. And who cares about the story really when like a bunch of motherfuckers are getting killed? This movie did its job, so I'm in for John Wick 3.
So just to clarify, you like this movie, but you admit you don't like action movies? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so that's why I said that this movie's not for me, but it's for them. And I know who them are. So for like Gino,
say hi to
like
the
our boy
Llamas.
Gino, like that likes John Wick, and I saw 1, 2, and 3, and I think this one's
Oh,
the
yeah, me
best.
too.
So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Gene, I think this one's for you, and I think that's why I'm in. I am in on this one.
All right. Gio?
I'll go with in. Yeah, like I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen any of the John Wick's movies until this week. I enjoyed them more than I thought I would. Yeah, like it doesn't have much of a story, but it's enough. It's just the story of a guy that got pushed to his breaking point and just started seeking revenge, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm in.
It's not like the best revenge movie, obviously, right? But it's like
It was enough. You push a guy to
right.
you
All
kill
this
his
for a
you kill his dog.
dog.
Yeah, the running joke of like they killed his dog and now he's gonna go wreak havoc, take down this whole
All of New York City, basically.
underground assassin organization.
I thought that was dope. Like
I love
that's all you need for a John Wick movie, right? So whatever, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm in, but I think I'm in a lot more than you guys are.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I would
shit.
really praise this movie, and I don't think you guys are praising it enough. I think this
Well,
this
see,
movie.
I was trying to get into the story,
Yeah.
but someone said we're done. So,
This movie deserves a lot more respect. I think it is on the level of the classic action movies like Die Hard and Commando and stuff. It's simple, but those
Yeah.
movies are simple too. Like I've always said, for an action movie, you just need like, hey, kill the guy's wife or kidnap his daughter and just send him off with guns. and
Just
stuff.
break them, and then
And this
break
is
them
a-
and set them loose.
This is a really good action movie, and I think these last 3 movies have been some of the best action movies I've seen in recent memory. So
Or like now, like
yeah, I mean it's not on the level of Fast and the Furious. It's way above that, I think.
Yeah,
I think so too. I
It's-
mean, 'cause
even though I haven't seen
Yeah.
any of them except for
It's
Tokyo
on the
Drift.
level It's on the level of all the classic action movies we ever had.
Yeah, that's why I said, 'cause, like, this movie's not for me in general, because, like, I want to take a piss a couple of times. Like, you could leave and come back, and you won't miss
You're not
anything,
lost,
like,
yeah.
really. And for me, like, there's, like, a limit to where you kill people and stuff, and then, like, everything else with the story. That's why when I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's just like the same thing through the whole thing.
It starts getting a little gratuitous.
Yeah, and it was like, I'm not really me. It's not for me, but like I get it. Like if you're into shit like that, oh man, this movie's for you, straight up.
One of the reasons why I cut you off, America, is because I wanted to kind of come back to it later, like in more detail. I actually think the story's great. It starts off in the first one very simple. They kill the guy's dog.
Yeah, there was
and he
no
goes
story
off
in the
revenge.
first
It's
one.
just
Yeah,
revenge,
there was,
right?
Yeah, like they
Kill
got
the
him
guy's dog, steal
at
his
the low
car,
point, and then
and
you
he
just
goes.
kick him. Yeah.
And the second one, they really expand it, and
Yeah.
they really create like this underground, whatever, like network of assassins, and that's really interesting to me. And they have like their own money system
Yeah.
and their own.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a movie kind of set in an alternate reality, right?
Yeah.
And this one expands it even more, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you're across
You
the
see
whole
how-
world.
how
and
big this thing.
Yeah, you
actually
see how the
goes.
network works, and it's really like tied into everything, I think.
Yeah.
So I think the story's a little bit better. It's simple, yes, but I think it's a little bit better than what we're giving it credit for here.
Hey, you
Yeah,
you think it would have worked if maybe this one could have been the first one,
No.
No.
and then like
I
I
We
think
have,
maybe
like-
the first and second
Actually,
could have been
well,
combined.
no, but
No.
like if you watch this one
It
and
was
then
only a couple of weeks. This timeline
Well,
is a couple
yeah,
of
like-
weeks.
no, but like if
but
you
that's what I like about it. It's simple, yet it expands it every time.
Hey, but this one
And
had
Yeah.
like
that's what a sequel should do.
this one had
Yeah.
like a cool intro, right? Like he's just getting chased and
That's
everything's
okay.
happening.
Yeah,
I love that, right? That
the
was pretty
first
cool.
25 minutes of this are freaking
Dope.
relentless, and that's great.
Dope.
It's-
Oh,
it
yeah,
literally
yeah.
Dope.
picks-
It's
So
yes.
dope.
It picks up after
Yeah.
the second one. Like it's
Yeah,
almost
right
a
after the
continuation
second one.
of. the
I love
second
that. That's why I
I
said.
think the second one picked right off.
But
right
if you
back up
watch
from the first,
if
didn't
you
it?
watch the first one and
I
the
think
second one,
that's
it always
true.
starts off like something's happening and then like they go back. But this one is
fucking
just like
flashbacks. The
yeah.
first one was all
But that's why this
flashbacks.
one was cool because this one started off happening.
It basically
with-
picks up where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
one ended up.
But now the other ones are always like, oh, we're gonna go back and explain to you. But
But
this
no,
one,
the second one started off really right after the first one because he's going to get his car back.
The second
kicking
one
the guy
gave
when
you
he's
like
down,
little
yeah.
sprinkles of a story. You're like, okay, this can be
Second one
tightened
was
up
better
more.
than the
and then the
first one.
third one kind of fills in more of the gaps from the second one. But all in all, like all these three movies together, I think it's a great story that needs to be tightened up a lot. Like this, it's a whole world, but it's just like, why didn't anyone notice that he was around? You know, like he's like this respected assassin,
Yeah.
and he's retired.
Uh huh.
Nobody cares.
He succeeded in whatever mission they gave him, so they let him leave, right?
Also, like.
And when he went back for revenge, that's what set in motion part 2 and part 3, because he set in motion
yeah.
all those other
The
people
only
going
thing that
after him now.
remember part one. You guys remember part one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So part one. Remember that guy that stole his car and killed his dog? How does that guy not know who John Wick
Yeah,
is?
okay, see
That
there.
fucking
Thank
don't
you.
make
Thank you.
sense,
How
right?
did he not know he was stealing
Well,
John
Because he
Wick's
was an
car?
idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, they make it pretty
He's
clear.
like the boss man.
Because
Isn't it?
think about it. Think about it. As soon as he takes the car into the shop,
Well, how-
the guy knows.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And his
I
dad
thought-
knows immediately. Hey, you
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
right?
but that's
Yeah.
why
Well,
he
so
should know.
that's
Because
a
it had
big
been
ol'
what?
No.
How old? How old?
It had been 5 years since he retired.
Yeah. How old was the kid?
Yeah, so it
I
makes
don't know,
sense.
5
the kid
years
wouldn't
younger,
know.
20?
Dude,
He was
dude,
20.
it-
He was,
you're
he
you're
looked
part of
old.
the
He looked
you're
kinda
part
old.
of that family though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
you should
muppet,
know.
so-
I'm like you saw the kind of character he was. He was just a party boy. Like
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
he wanted to do. He didn't like. He just loved the luxury life. So he didn't really care about, I guess, like the.
Well, he wasn't
the
part of
family
it, though.
business.
Yeah, he wasn't like
yeah,
really.
he wasn't necessarily involved too much with the
He
family
didn't
business. So
That's
he,
true.
so you know, he didn't really care. Like that's why he's like, I don't care who that guy was. Like
I just wanted his
I
car.
yeah, I wanted the car and I shot the dude.
Right? And
I think it's a video game.
I
think it's a
I'm glad you brought up that
perfect
point.
video
Yeah.
game.
really?
It's a
Yeah.
video game with a really good, really good story. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Because
'cause-
it looks like a video game. It's noir. You have all the neon. The action is like exactly how you play those
Got
like
gold
shooter
coins.
games. Yeah, like you
It's
have
just-
a currency.
It's just like
You're
an endless
right.
amount of enemies coming
Yeah.
and just headshots
You
after
got gold
headshots.
yeah.
coins.
No,
It's just-
actually, I want to know why people don't shoot at the head.
Oh,
That was my thing from the first movie. I was like, why
No.
do you guys not aim for the head?
my thing
like-
is, you're an assassin, dude. You'd think you'd, because just based off of the way he thinks, I guess either that's the difference. His whole suit is made out of bulletproof material, right?
Yeah.
None of the other assassins have any
Yeah.
bulletproof material.
That
Well,
goes.
some of them did. The ones with the helmets and
Yeah,
stuff, but
but
they were
then-
covered head to toe. So yeah.
yeah,
That
but-
kind of goes back to like what she said about it being a video game. It's like because there were a lot of moments where the bad guys have their chances to kill John Wick, and for some reason instead of going just shooting him, they go at him with a knife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Or they have a
kinda-
knife and they go at him with their
Oh, I
fist.
love,
Yeah.
I love that whole scene though.
And-
Oh,
I
but
think
then-
it's about being
Remind
like,
me of
oh,
that.
I respect you. Like we're gonna go.
Yeah,
at this,
and
like,
then there's
real
another
men.
scene too where they remember I told you like there's two guys and they're just beating them up. They pick them up and they're like, oh, let's keep going. And I'm thinking like, oh shit, like if they had guns, this shit would have
It
been
does-
over.
That was the equivalent of them asking for an autograph.
Yeah.
They're like, we love your work. Come on,
Great to
can
fight
we
with
get a
you, John
selfie? And I was
Wick.
like,
Which is
kill
kind of
each
cool.
other.
Yeah.
Which is
But it's
kind of cool
almost like they
too.
let
Let's
him
die
kill
at the
them.
same time. Let's hold hands while we kill each
But
other.
Like,
another
oh my
thing,
god, I'm getting killed by John Wick, guys. Let me
Another thing-
Instagram this.
another thing that bothered me though was like the reason he wanted to stay alive or whatever
Oh yeah.
was kind of corny, you know. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a real like reason, you
I
know.
think he's
That's-
a
that's the
dumbass
whole
for staying
reason-
alive.
That's the whole reason for this movie existing. Is that
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
when they killed his dog, it was killing,
It
his
was-
wife. It was like killing his wife.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah, but then like the fact that he keeps going.
Yeah,
Like,
I-
is it all worth it or I don't know? It's kind of like
the guy who was gonna kill
Just
the
kill
guy who
yourself.
took his finger at the end. He was like, "Give me this so that I know that you want to stay alive," and he gave away the ring. That's like his bond with
Yeah,
his dead
that's
wife.
true.
I think
Well,
at
I know,
that
right?
point I would have
Yeah.
been like, if this is really what I'm fighting for,
then get the
I'm
fuck-
gonna die.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you just gave
That-
up. He was like, okay, you're gonna live being a slave to the high table, but you don't have your wife anymore. Like
True,
it's
but
it's
then-
over.
But then they, that's kind of resolved at the end when the guy tells him like, "Are you gonna be a slave to this guy,
And he's all-
or are you gonna live as a free man and fight against him?" Right?
Yeah.
That set up that little arc.
Also,
Yeah,
that-
but
So he
that's
does
kinda-
lose.
he
also
does-
that ring.
he-
That's
he does
that's
lose his
that's gonna
way.
be John Wick 4.
Yeah.
He's gonna go back for that ring. He went
Oh,
back for the car.
yeah.
He's going back for that
Oh,
It
ring.
really is. I
Right,
think
yeah.
it is. They set it up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna go back because to a certain degree that's the guy, right? Or at least one
That's
of
the
them.
main,
One.
One of them.
head guy.
Yeah, because there's the
'Cause-
table and then there's.
It is a little hard to follow because
Well, but
there's like a boss and then there's that guy's boss and then
So
that
back
guy's
to the
boss,
video game,
so-
the different levels,
Yeah,
the different
and
bosses.
it literally
Oh,
the
level
mini
sauce.
bosses.
literally at the end he's going level by
By
level
level.
to get to the main
To Bowser?
the main
Yeah.
boss. And it does get a little ridiculous.
Hey, what
I
happened
admit,
to
at
Halle
the end.
Berry?
Maybe she'll
She
come back
left.
in
She drove
for-
out of the desert. Does she have enough gas to get home? Like what?
That's
happened
enough
to
for their
her?
contract. She'll be back in the fourth one.
We'll find out. In John Wick 4, but he goes-
All right.
Actually, that's what I wanted. I wanted her to just be like helping him all the way and then killing him at the end and being like, "Oh, that's it."
That was
Oh,
enough.
her
That was
daughter's
enough Halle
still-
Berry for me.
Yeah, I think so too. It was, yeah. Yeah, and the when he defeats the ultimate Asian dude at the end, right? The sushi guy, he takes off all his left hand, all of his fingers. So
Is
he
that
was
what
the
happened?
one. Yeah, he was the one in charge of killing John Wick at the end.
Also-
before he gets to the high table dude.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
He
got
takes
off
off
his
all
ring.
of his fingers.
Also,
So,
it
cool.
doesn't help.
It
Like
does.
for me, it doesn't help that I watch a lot of Food Network, and that's the guy from Iron Chef.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he's like
That's
he's
hilarious.
he's the chairman of Iron Chef, and like so I was like, hey, it's a guy from Iron Chef, and also he was in Double Dragon.
I didn't know that.
He was like,
That's
remember
hilarious.
correctly, I think he was one of the brothers in Double
That's
Dragon.
hilarious.
I love it.
That's like if that guy from Kitchen Nightmares was in the
Oh,
Avengers.
what's his name?
It's like-
What's that guy's name?
What's his name?
Oh,
Gordon Ramsay.
yeah.
That's like if Gordon Ramsay was in the Avengers. Just yelling at Thanos like, "You call this a infinity gauntlet?"
You call that a snap? This is a snap.
So I think we're all in, but in different levels of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
I'm really high on this. You guys
Yeah,
are
for
just-
for some reason.
Yeah.
But I understand though. I understand like the other people, they're gonna like it for sure. They're gonna love it. Like
Yeah,
like
thanks, Gino.
yeah, Gino's gonna love it. I pretty sure. If he doesn't, I don't know why.
He's gonna go watch it at Machu Picchu.
He liked
16.
he liked Detective
Drive-thru on
Pikachu
his
for some
llama.
reason.
Gino's in Peru. That's why they're making these jokes.
Oh, he stabs cool too. Like
What,
touches-
Gino?
No, not Gino.
I was just like,
John Wick. I don't know. I don't
upon
never
his
seen
llama, he
Gino.
comes with the. with a lance and
He's
just
You know, this
trained
one had
right now. He's gonna take over
a chase
and
and a
take on
horse. The next one's gonna
Oh,
have
Oh,
a
yeah.
chase on,
yeah.
on a
On a
llama.
llama. Dude, he even knows how to ride a horse. Really, that orphanage taught him like everything.
Everything.
He's
Yeah.
the most
Damn.
skilled
Well,
assassin.
yeah.
Damn, dude.
Makes
kind of
sense.
like Black Widow, where
Morticia
she's
taught
just
him.
that good.
So I told you about my brother, yeah? Something happened. I don't know exactly what. He's been arrested. He's being held at Rikers Island.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Make me queen.
Just gotta get him out of there before something bad happens. He could get killed in there.
The purest act from love.
Good time. After a botched bank robbery lands his younger brother in prison, Connie Nikas embarks on a twist odyssey through New York City's underworld to get his brother Nick out of jail.
Sounds like a good time.
It sounds like a
Always when you're running away
crazy
from the
time.
cops.
All right, well, I guess I'll start it off just because I picked it.
Why'd you pick it?
All right, so when when I was growing up, say like 12, 11, I was really
You
into
robbed the bank.
Is the statute of limitations over?
I can finally talk about it. My brother's still in jail.
You might want to consult with your attorney at this point.
Okay, so I remember watching IFC, and IFC was like a fucking legit channel.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
you
remember
remember
that
that?
time too, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then I remember watching Requiem for a Dream for the first time and Train Spotting for the first time on that channel. And those movies are the kind of movies that I loved growing up, and I was like, oh my God, this is the type of movie I want to make when I grow up, you know? Obviously I changed and whatever, but like those were the type of movies. And then I realized those movies like left. They don't make movies like that much anymore. And then like if they do, it's like foreign film or whatever, you know? Yeah. And when I saw Good Time, it reminded me of all those movies again. And that movie came out 2 years ago. And like I remember thinking like, oh, it had everything that movie, like those kind of movies have, which is humor. It had like like this intense towards it.
I think
and,
it's all intense.
Yeah,
It's just all intense.
and it
It's funny that humor is the first thing.
Yeah,
but
I don't
it
know
made
if
me
it was
laugh
a
a lot, and then like it was intense, like straight up, and it's really disturbing. But when disturbing comes in, I think it's art. It's like, oh my God, how do you make like, you could be disturbing in a certain way, but they make disturbing in a way where I think it's art. And I'm telling you, it's like Train Spotting and Requiem. They had the same. I had the same feeling towards it. So if you have movies like Avengers, where the universe comes to you in the screen, this is the type of movie you're sucked into, and you're just like in that fucking moment, and you feel what they're feeling with the music and everything that's happening. So I love this kind of movie, and I haven't seen a movie like this in a while, so that's why I picked it, and I wanted to show it to you guys.
Cool.
I'm in. So what do you guys?
So we're going with in, out, or delete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh shit! I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just like whatevs. I watched it really late, but I was falling asleep towards the end. But yeah, I'm out.
What did you like about it?
I don't know. It just seemed. I'm like the character was interesting, but I don't know. It just the whole movie was just like I don't know.
Not
It didn't grab.
You don't like
my
the
attention.
journey that they went on?
Like
Or he
your
went
type?
on?
You didn't like the trip?
The
Yeah.
trip. Yeah.
So you're out.
Yeah. I'm
Not
out.
delete.
Maybe.
Nah, I
You
won't
seem on
delete
the edge
it.
of delete. Yeah.
Brittany
turn?
Robert,
Yeah, Robert.
All right, so I'm in.
Oh, you're
I'm
in?
really in on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
I loved
cool,
it.
cool.
When you suggested it, I'd never heard of it, so I looked it up and I saw Robert Pattinson, and I was like, oh god.
Batman.
No. Well, I'll get to that. But all I knew was Twilight, and I think I seen like something a little bit
Harry
of some
Potter?
other movie that he made.
Oh, he
before.
was in Harry Potter.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Cedric.
Oh, he was.
Cedric
Yeah.
Degree.
Yeah, he's the one.
The
that-
point is that I thought he was I thought he was a terrible actor, and I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be a drag. It's gonna be a pain to sit through. But no, it's a great movie. It's like you said, the direction is very intense. Like the first 20-25 minutes are just relentless,
It's
And
just, like,
the
happening,
performance,
happening.
Robert Pattinson, that performance that he gives in that movie, it's fucking incredible.
Dope, right?
I thought it does get uncomfortable a lot because he turns into
Like,
you
Yeah.
start off
Yeah,
rooting for him,
wait.
and
And
you,
then, like,
you really
he-
believe that he's doing all of this for his brother and he loves him, even though
What?
he's misguided. You believe him and you root for him,
I don't
and then
know.
you start seeing,
he's
oh
a
my
piece
god,
of
like
shit.
he's a horrible person.
Yeah, dude.
But that means that this is great writing because it's a
Like he's
multi-dimensional character.
He's
It's-
supposed to be the hero, but you just hate him because
yeah, this
of
is
his-
not a hero. This is not a movie about heroes. This is a movie about the guy in the alley at 3 a.m. that you're trying to
Someone's
avoid.
terrible.
Like
Yeah.
this is a movie about them,
And then look how he
the
looks,
filmmakers
too.
did a great job of putting you in their shoes.
Shit's
Um,
crazy, man.
So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fantastic.
and his performance
Thank
was
you
dope,
for
right?
yeah. And now I see that hey, he could be a good Batman because he was fantastic in this.
Yeah,
and thank
man.
you, Ricardo. For,
Oh, Theo,
for
you're welcome, man.
recommending this.
See? Oh,
I
see,
never
Robin?
would have watched this if it hadn't been for your recommendation.
All right.
And like I was forced to watch it, and I'm glad I was because it was great. It was great.
What do you think, America?
Yeah, I'm in. I loved this movie. It
Oh,
was
man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I was ever really rooting for Robert Pattinson. Oh my god, he's so ugly and grimy and disgusting.
Yeah.
And I just
He
felt
looked nasty,
so bad for
right?
his
Whole
brother
world, yeah.
the entire time. And it really like it takes you there where these are like
Yeah.
people. Yeah, it really is that guy in the alley. It's kind of like a day in the life
It really is.
of
Yeah.
him and his poor brother. Like his
Oh, yeah,
brother
yeah,
has
yeah.
like some kind of like mental
Yeah.
like issue, right? So he's in therapy.
In the beginning, you in a way you root for him. Like even
Yeah.
though it's he's doing a bad thing. Like
Yeah, I want the
he-
brother to be okay.
yeah, he loves his brother so much that he's doing this to get them out, right?
Yeah.
And
trying to
that's
get
why
the money
you're
to-
kind of on their side in the beginning, but then you start to see more and more.
And it's
I
like,
don't,
what?
I don't think the brother was on his side. I don't
No,
think
no, no,
Robert
no, no.
Pattinson
Yeah,
was on his
yeah,
side.
yeah. He's
I-
misguided. Robert Pattinson, his
Yeah.
character is misguided.
He's
but-
selfish. He's a
Yeah.
selfish character
Yeah.
because like
Yeah, for
everything,
sure.
like he says he's doing it for his brother, but, at
But
the
he's
end of the day,
not.
Well,
he's
that's-
just kind of
that's
for
when he
his own personal
realizes
gain.
towards
He
the
doesn't.
end, right?
He doesn't want
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
brother to snitch,
Yeah.
and then like he'll get in trouble, you know?
Yeah.
But you, as a viewer, you believe in their relationship, and although you know what they're doing is bad, you know he's doing it for
Himself.
kind of a good reason. No, not for himself at that moment.
Oh, but like
But he believes he's doing it for them, for
Yeah.
both. So yeah, one of the things that unfolds throughout the movie is that you realize that he basically just uses people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uses people, and then when
So
they
funny, dude.
when they can't help him anymore, he throws them away.
Eh,
And it's really sad to see, and you start
Yeah.
seeing like
Remember
Yeah.
the
there
girlfriend?
should be some consequences. For
Yeah,
this
how
guy.
there's no boundary of what he'll do to
Or
get.
won't do.
Yeah, or
this
who
guy's
won't he
just-
do,
Oh.
or try to do?
Remember his
to-
girlfriend in the
Oh,
movie?
Donahue?
Like, dude, he's just like straight up tosses her off just after.
Yeah, it's like every character that he comes in contact with, he just throws them away. When
But-
Yeah.
they can't help him.
That's
And even one of them dies.
one big part of it was the music. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
the
think
music
Oh,
was great.
yeah.
In this.
Great,
The
right?
soundtrack is great.
it's so good, man. And I was bumping it on the
Yeah.
way here.
Yeah,
What I
it
loved
was.
about it is that it was very like electronic, but it wasn't like 80s. It didn't
No,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was. It was very modern.
Yeah,
And-
it's dope.
A little bit, yeah. I was like, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of a little bit of the 80s, I guess, of Terminator, the first one.
Yeah,
You remember?
yeah.
Because do you remember the first one?
It's been for some time.
That kind
I
of
don't think I've-
music. It's
No
like
offense, I don't think I've seen it
It's very
completely. I think it
electronic.
very.
Yeah.
No, well, a lot of them were.
Yeah, most of them. Terminator especially.
So like I've seen Blade Runner.
One of the things I liked about it is that it was mostly all exclusively shot in close up,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And normally that gets like very nauseating and disorienting, but
In this case, it's
in
good.
this case, this is
They
this
wanted
is
to
one movie that
focus
where that
on-
style worked, and because it was really claustrophobic.
It puts you in their headspace of
Yeah.
like, I have nowhere to go. I have like,
Uh-huh.
I can only turn so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then like, there's a lot of disturbing scenes. I don't know if you found it disturbing, but
The entire thing. yeah.
Almost
all
the
of
whole
it.
thing.
It was intense.
I know
was
you
not
said
a
it was
good time.
comedic. No.
is when that guy throws the acid on that guy's
On the
face.
security guard. in
And
the
it's
theme
so
park.
I remember watching it the first time. I remember watching it and I was scared. And the acid is only drops. This guy pours the whole
A
thing.
whole, like,
He's
beer bottle
gone,
into
dude,
his
and he was just
throat.
doing his job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I saw that and then the music, like they do this crazy thing, I felt like super disturbed. super disturbed that when I saw that scene, I was like, I'm gonna tell everybody about this motherfucking movie. I was like, oh my
you
god.
don't even have to have done acid to know.
Yeah,
Like everyone
exactly.
knows acid
Well, no,
stays
that-
in
that's
you, right?
actually-
And you
I
do it
didn't-
enough,
I didn't know that you just did a little drop. So
It's a
now that's
drop.
even more.
you're gonna go and chug the
That's
bottle.
even more disturbing
It's
because
one
he just
drop.
chugs
Yeah.
it.
He,
Like,
Yeah.
he throws
Yeah.
half the
He,
bottle.
he tells
of
him like
7-Up
he's
down
never
his
gonna
throat.
remember.
Yeah.
He
And
never he's not
when
he's
they
gone.
get him, when they get
He's
him in the
gone.
ambulance.
That dude OD'd, right?
Yeah, like it's gone.
No, they
He's
put him in
gone.
the ambulance.
And
there,
he's probably mental.
He's screaming or something.
Yeah.
There's like yells, like he's
Yeah.
trying to say
And it's
something,
not-
but he's
it's
not,
not-
and his eyes
And
are
if
just
you know,
gone.
like you're
Ugh.
thinking like, oh, it's not him, it's not his fault. Like he's just
Yeah.
tripping, dude. It's fucked up, and I felt it so much when I was watching it. I was like, oh my god, this movie's fucking crazy. Cause I know there's other disturbing scenes like with the little girl. That's fucking disturbing. She's little, and he's like making out with her.
16.
he
Yeah, and-
almost sleeps with a 16-year-old.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
so disturbing.
Just to throw her off.
But this
on-
part got me like, I was
yeah,
like,
I think that. Yeah, like I mean, there was the death that happens eventually, but that one, I think that guy's dead.
Well, that's when
That-
it
yeah,
the,
like that-
when he's with the 16-year-old, that's when it started to turn for me. I was still kind of with him
oh really?
throughout this thing, and then when that happens, we're like, oh, like, this is not a good person.
You're like, yeah, this
Like,
guy is willing to do anything.
Yeah.
And then when I talked about
Dude,
humor,
but that little girl,
No.
she was like a dumb 16-year-old.
well,
like,
that's
she really
perfect.
Was.
It was
I had
perfect.
problems with her grandma.
Yeah, but
was
that's the
like-
perfect.
She just
six-
leaves her with the
Dude,
guy.
Well,
like-
one, she's like, "Oh, hi, complete stranger. Yeah, you can stay in our place."
Yeah.
I was just like, "Dude, one, you have a 16-year-old in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know this guy." And-
Well, to be fair, like they were coming from a hospital.
Yeah,
He
and
doesn't
they
know.
met on the
and
little
the guy's
bus.
hurt.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
then he knows
Yeah,
how to
but
talk
still-
his way out
bad,
of
but I also
everything
think
for
That's,
some
that's one of
reason.
the things I want to bring
Yeah.
up. The guy's really clever.
Yeah,
like
so
he's
it's
really smart. He's able to think of solutions like
right
on
away,
the spot.
and that's
Yeah.
dope, man.
Street smart.
Except, I mean, the one part I guess I did find kind of dumb and funny is like he breaks into the hospital. He does all that
Yeah.
elaborate stuff. Like, fuck, I got the wrong
Yeah,
guy.
that's what I was gonna say too. That's like humor, cause he brought the wrong guy. He got the wrong guy.
He
Spoiler
goes in
alert.
to break up.
Yeah.
He break out his brother, and
Who
he
is
goes
in the hospital
in the
because he got
hospital.
beat up in
Yeah.
jail.
Oh,
and he succeeds. He gets him out,
Yeah.
but then he got the wrong guy. It's
But
like,
we don't find out
Yeah.
until after he
Yeah.
tries
After
to
the
get
dude
him
wakes
out.
up,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the part that I loved about this movie too, cause so the humor, right? They have like the wrong guy,
Yeah.
but then this guy is fucking hilarious, dude. Everything
He's just as
saying.
bad as him.
Yeah.
he's
Oh
just
my
fucked
god.
up, yeah.
And then like he has this story in the like. Remember they're in the White Castle.
By the way, yeah, that story, I couldn't buy the story.
Oh my god, that story is so funny, dude.
Yeah, I didn't find any of this funny. I was horrified. Yeah.
Like the problem I had with it was either like, oh man, I can't remember. I don't remember what I did yesterday. I can't remember.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
perfectly tells this story.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was,
you're right.
I will say,
Yeah, I was just like,
To
wait a
that
minute,
point,
you
yeah.
said you don't remember.
That-
You like you don't remember you did this, and then you went to a theme park and dropped off a, you
Shit,
know.
damn,
the
that's
whole
smart.
point of that
was
was
true.
I think why you think that part didn't really work because that's the only part where it's like it was kind of forced. That explanation was forced to move the story along because
Yeah.
it's because of that story. It's like, oh, now I know where to get more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only part where it was like a little bit not believable. Let's say.
But it was
Yeah.
funny though, right?
I know I didn't find it funny.
I thought it was funny because he just
I'm like,
says
just the
everything so
telling, not
nonchalant.
necessarily the actions, but the telling of it.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
Oh, and then I found out too that the brother is the writer. He wrote this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
with
Mhm.
his
And
him
his
Gave
brother.
himself a
And-
hell of
I
a
think
part.
he,
Yeah,
I think he
him and-
co-directed it too.
yeah, him
with
and his brother. And I thought
and I
that was
think
cool.
he helped make some of the music.
Oh,
It was fairly, I think,
Damn.
indie that way, where they
The
were
Softy
probably
brothers. And then they're cool because they made other movies because after this I checked out other movies and their movies are all like similar kinda, but they're getting more Main Street, so that's why they got Robert Pattinson.
what else have they made?
They made another movie called Heaven Knows What, and it's like based on like some book.
What's that one?
Yeah, and it's
Is it just as good as this?
no, well it's more low budget, and they're young. They're like our age, so like they're gonna get better. You know?
Really? I
mean,
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if they grow as filmmakers,
Yeah.
they're gonna be fantastic. Just like
Yeah.
Danny Boyle in Trainspotting.
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah,
look at
yeah.
him now,
Yeah,
he's,
for
he's
sure.
great, right?
So that's where you start, and I think we found their start right there.
Yeah.
So
None of the acting is bad. None of it.
Yeah,
it's all
yeah,
great,
yeah.
yeah.
There's
That's
no
why I
bad
love it,
actor.
man.
Yeah, like
It's
I
so
think
real,
everything
right?
Here,
Even
yeah.
that girl, the little girl, is
the
perfect,
girlfriend
dude.
is like the perfectly off girlfriend who
Oh
has
my
family
God.
Pushover.
Like yeah,
Yeah,
her,
and her
her
mom?
has money
Oh
and
my
she's just the
God.
troublemaker and the mom's trying to take care of her.
Oh my God,
But
it's
she's
so
like, no,
funny.
this is my boyfriend. I gotta
Yeah.
take care of him. And that annoying
So
16-year-old who
disturbing.
doesn't listen to her grandma, who
The
makes
girl-
out with Robert
What- yeah, but
Pattinson.
like that
she's
girl-
the perfect, like
Yeah.
believable.
When she
gullible
talks, right? When she
16-year-old.
talks,
Yeah.
it's like the perfect. Like that's what they say,
She's
dude.
like, I
It's
don't
like
care
this.
what you do with that old
All right,
lady's
old
phone.
man.
No, I'm saying because I remember like they say stuff like
Wait, you made out with a 16?
no,
Oh God.
no, but I'm saying like
He's like, that's what they say.
no, not that part. But like they say
Oh my
like
God.
remember when
That's
they
exactly what she said to me.
Yeah.
Let me grab my stash.
And I'm telling you, like, I don't know for me, I don't know about you guys, but I forgot it was like fucking Twilight at that point. He just looks
Yeah, you
nasty in this
forget.
movie, and like I
Yeah.
felt like
That's what I said. That's a great performance.
yeah,
because
for sure.
You completely everything Twilight, Harry Potter. You forget
Yeah,
about all
to
that.
Harry Potter. I didn't
Oh, you
know
had
about
already
that.
forgotten Harry Potter.
Well, no, I didn't know.
I didn't know either. And then
Went real
it's cool
quick.
how it ended like a happy ending, you know?
But that's one of the things.
A
Like
twisted happy
like,
ending.
Yeah.
You see, like you start realizing this is a horrible person, and there does need to be some consequences here, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
And
is
thankfully
terrible.
there are.
And
consequences.
he does
downs-
realize
he
at the
downs
end
the bottle.
when
Did
he
you see
sees
that?
the guy die because of him, he realizes, and at the end he does the right thing, and so it had a great ending in my opinion.
Yeah, it was
because
dope.
of that.
Because death, yeah. Robert likes death. Robert likes guys plummeting to their death.
That guy's dumb. I don't know why he.
Yeah, I mean, he
threw
deserves
himself
to
out the
die. I
window.
mean,
Well,
he
he-
could have just been
he
like,
was trying to
dude,
escape.
Everybody's off in
the
that
Earth
movie,
is
dude.
good without him.
right? Yeah. All right. So recap. I'm in for Good Time.
In.
Out.
I'm in all the way in.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we'll see you guys next time.
What are we reviewing?
I think for our old movie, we're gonna probably do Top Secret, and for the new movie, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
It might be Aladdin or whatever comes out that weekend. Not sure.
Oh yeah, forget about
Maybe
that.
Aladdin.
All right,
So yeah.
cool.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace,
Laters.
peace, peace.